This is ball joint replacement on a 2002 Chevy Trailblazer. I assume if you're attempting this project, you already know that you need to take the spindle off. Once you take the spindle off, you gain access to the upper ball joint here, and the lower ball joint here. Well, the next problem is that they need to be pressed out. You can't simply hammer them out, so you need a special press. Alright, I'm going to start with the lower ball joint here, and if you can see this little ridge up top, I'm going to take a chisel and chisel that off to make the press easier to push it out. I believe this is put in because this ball joint is pressed in by a machine at the factory. So I'm going to take a chisel, I'm going to chisel around this top to remove that lip. Okay, as you can see, I took this chisel and this 3-pound sledge and I chiseled around the top lip here to remove all the metal from the press. So now I can press this lower ball joint out with a special tool. One thing I forgot to mention is that I like to heat this outer arm up here to make the press easier for me. So I'll do this for about 5 minutes and watch it, because that rubber will catch fire. You just got to keep putting it out. Now I got an electric impact wrench on the press. So here's how I set the press up. I'm going to do this fairly quick because I just heated it up. But you can see that my special tool down here is on the ears, and the ball joint press is pressing on the ball joint itself, and my impact gun right here is going to press it out. So let's see if you can see this. As you can see, it's moving, so just a little bit more and it'll pop right out. Alright, so I got it to pop out. Now I just remove it. Watch it, because everything is still hot. But there's the ball joint. Just stuck right in there. If I unscrew this, and there it is. And the tool and everything. So you can see, mine's fairly loose there, so that's it. It's fairly easy to remove once you know you have the special tool, so that's key. I bought this at Harbor Freight, but it came in a much larger kit. This is all the kit. Now this doesn't even come with the press itself, it's just an adapter set. So the other kit's right here. I got all the pieces over there, but you can kind of get 2 presses, the top and bottom press, the actual C-clamp itself, and then this threading rod, and then the rings going in the middle. Alright, now for the upper ball joint right here. So my upper ball joint's not that bad, but since I got it all apart and I'm replacing the bottom one, I'm going to replace the top one as well. this is kind of the same thing, except you don't need a special tool for that. You just press on this side. Actually, no, I'm sorry. You press on this side, and the ball joint pops out this way. So this just takes the regular ball joint press. However, I didn't have a ring that fit this perfectly, so I have to use a socket. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, it did come loose. You can see it cracked through here a little bit, you know, here. However, I forgot to remove the C-clip, so make sure you remove that C-clip. I'm going to have to pound it back through with a hammer and just pop that C-clip out and try this press again. Alright, it wasn't that hard to remove the C-clip. I just used a screwdriver, jammed it in there, and popped it right out. So I'm going to set my press back up and try this again. I'm going to heat it up again a little bit, just to make it a little bit easier. Alright, let's try this one more time here, now that I remove the C-clip. Well, that's pretty easy. Once you get it set up, it comes out fairly easily. So there it is. I'm going to put the new ones in now. Okay, so now I have the press set up to press the ball joint in this way. So it's like I had a big ring to go around the end of the ball joint here, and I found a socket that I could fit on the end of the ball joint perfectly. So now I can press it in. Now it's important that this gets pressed in square, nice and straight. So if you kink it at all, it's going to make it a lot harder to push in, and then it'll be loose in there possibly. So be careful at pressing this in square. Okay, you see that I got the new one pressed in. It was nice and square. And of course, don't forget the C-clamp. Pop the C-clamp in and you're done with the upper. One thing I forgot to mention on the upper is that I like to use a piece of sandpaper or emery cloth and just sand the inside of this so it makes the new one easier to press in. Get rid of any rust or any burrs that are something on it that might catch it. So, alright, to press in the new ball joint, I need to reverse what I did earlier by pressing it in now. The set that I have has this ring, and if you can see it, it's kind of sloppy in there, see? And what happened previously to me is that it would kink in there, and then you would press it in crooked. So what I found was I had a perfect fit with a 3/4 inch socket wrench. It doesn't slop around in there at all. And what size is that? 2 inch. So now if I use this on my press, it'll press perfectly square. So I'll show you that here in a minute. But out of all that kit that I got, both the ball joint kit and the adapter kit, it did not have a perfect fit for this ball joint. So I just want to let you know that I use a socket. So here is my setup for pressing the lower ball joint in. And as you can see, I have my 2-inch socket here to press on the ball joint, and a little spacer here to allow the ball joint to go up a little bit more so you can fit the C-clip in. So I'm just going to use the impact gun and I'm going to push it in. And then of course put the grease zerd in when you're done, to the top and the bottom. I haven't done the top yet, but anyway, that pretty much sums it up, you know. Now you put it all back together, just same opposite of how you took it apart. So I hope this was valuable to you. Thank you.